your phone and look mad like up close and personal. You gotta enjoy it. You're like, what? You ain't even got it. You ain't even technically gotta check it, right? Or somebody else check it just to make sure the audio right.
You see, when it sent out something.
Usually, I don't look that big. It look extra.
Everything good.
The audio good.
Yeah, we good. Yeah.
All right, Shalom. Let's start by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Hashem, Kakadash, the oneness of the apostle and Elder Great Millstone, and Shalom to leg out there, doing his work of faith and the beloved true sincerity. This is Brother Jim Messo's of Faith in New Jersey, here with the weekly sit down. And today's topic is spiritual wickedness in high places. All right, so somebody start with that scripture.
It's Ephesians chapter 6, verse 10. Finally, my brother, be strong against the wiles of the devil.
All right, in the first part, give me that. The Lord didn't give us a spirit of fear. And read that back real quick.
Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might.
Right, so we got to be strong in the power of the Lord, you know, and with all the might. Because when you look at the hand is power, and what is power spiritually, it's power. The hand is power. So we know that we're in the hands of the Lord. So we have to be sure, you know, with power that the Lord has and the little reins that he give us to do what we need to do, you know, in order for our salvation. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
In order to edify the elect, the power that he gives us as individuals separately and collectively as a body, we have to be aware of that. So read it back one more time.
Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil.
Right, so, you know, slowly but surely, you know, as we age in his truth, you know, day after day, month after month, year after year, we're putting on more armor. That armor, you're just putting on thick skin. So that's what it is. That armor, you know, well, when we was in the world, or maybe when we had started within the truth, right? So somebody bring that other scripture out.
It's like your brother real quick. Can I just bring out a definition of wild? This is a Google definition of the word wild. Devious or cunning stratagems employed in manipulating or persuading someone to do what one wants. Lure, entice. All right? So that's what this devil is going to attempt to do in these last days. You know, and ultimately that devious and cunning stratagem is that MOTB. That MOTB to the CHIP. You know, that's that cunning, devious stratagem. Because he's going to paint the narrative that this is something that you need and something that you have to prove to the system that you're not a domestic op. Right? We got to choose our words wisely, you know? So that's a cunningly devised strategy in which these devils going to attempt to lure you to take. Not only that, that's where the financial system is going, you know? So that also goes into what? Luring and entice, you know? Because you got people that's going to hit big, you know, this whole crypto thing, you know? And the only way that they're going to be able to claim that funding, that investment, is if they take that CHIP. You know, so these Edomites know exactly what they're doing.
This is 2 Timothy 1:7. For God hath not given us the spirit of fear. 2 Timothy 1:7. For God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind.
Right, so the Lord having given us the spirit of fear, because, you know, ultimately, we have two types of fears, right? We have the fear of the Lord, which is that respect, that reverence, that honor that we have for the Lord, Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, as well as, you know, the men that's over us, our apostle and Elder Great Millstone. And then you have that other fear, which is that Freddy Krueger type of fear. That fear that Satan tries to instill in you so that you be fearful even of the faith that you're supposed to have within the Lord, so that you doubt in your faith, man. The Lord didn't give us that type of fear, man. The Lord gave us the righteous fear, which is respect, honor, and all of the above. So read that one more time.
Second Timothy 1:7. For God have not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind.
Right, but of power, once again, we get into that hand, you have that firm grip, you know you have power over something, right? Of power and of a sound mind. Sound mind meaning what? A balanced mind. You're not double-minded, you know what I'm saying? You're not wavering, you're not unsure about this. You see the target, you know the aim, and you're going for it, man. And there is no doubt and there is no turning back. So the Lord give us that sound mind so that we're able to do this work in truth, honesty, and in sincerity, you know, and to push forward the ministry, man. Because we know that what we're living in the last days, to where the spiritual wickedness is at an all-time high, man.
Sir.
And this is what we're constantly battling, as brother's been chopping it up for the past, couple hours. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's at an all-time high, man. So we have to constantly be on our P's and Q's, and just, how you say, what, crossing your T's and dotting your I's, whatever all of that shit is, you know what I'm saying? Just being on point, circumspect, as the scripture says. Somebody give me that, what's that, Ephesians 5:15? You know what I'm saying? And all avenues to where we're not allowing Satan to get that advantage up on us like that, you know?
And if I may add, before the brother get the scripture, because the brothers is harping on a sound mind, because to have a sound mind is to have absence of confusion, which bring forth peace. So for the simple fact that in order to push this word, in order to push this truth, we got to be at peace. You know what I'm saying? We got to be at peace with ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Because we have at war with the world. You know what I'm saying? You can't be at war with yourself and be at war with the world at the same time. At that point, you ready to you might as well just jump off a bridge. But that's the beautiful thing about this truth. This truth brings forth peace. Like when we get into Wisdom of Solomon, the 3rd chapter, it speaks about how, the Lord look at us as if we're going to be in a pitiful case, but we are at peace because we know the end game. We know what's coming after, and for the simple fact that we know what's coming after, we're able to be settled. We're able to have that absence of the confusion. Satan can't dwell within us because we know the blueprint. We know Yahweh Shem Yahushua's plan when it comes to this life, so to speak. So that allows us to move accordingly and congruent to Yahweh Shem Yahushua.
I got a precept.
You got it.
Yeah, this is the back, brothers. This is brothers the heart. 2 Corinthians 2:11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant to his devices.
And that's what we call having a drop on you devils. This is what we call having a drop upon you Edomites. Least, in fear of Satan having an advantage, because Satan, the so-called white man, these Edomites, they have an advantage over 2/3. Why? Because they don't have the truth. Here it is, 2/3 don't know that the MOTB is the CHIP. They don't know the CHIP is the MOTB. So now the elites have an advantage over 2/3. That's why they're going to take it. They're going to take it because they don't know not to take it. They're going to take it because they don't know the judgment for taking it. But we have to hope for elect. We understand the judgment, that's going to come with taking that. See, AI, the phone up.
Oh,
Look like it's still going.
no, it's still going on here.
Yeah, it's just that the phone locked up.
But yeah, I'm saying, but we have to hope for elect. We understand the judgment for taking that CHIP. So Lord willing, through the spirit of power, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, we're not going to take it. So like the brother just read, at least Satan shall have an advantage over us, gave us the understanding of what this devil is up to. So now we can just move out the way. Like we brought out earlier, Proverbs 22:3, the prudent foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. So 2/3 being the simple, you know, they're going to be punished because they don't understand the mysteries of these prophecies. Though it be told unto them.
Yeah, that's why fear is like some real BS, man. Fear of our enemies, man. Because this is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 17, verse 12. It says, "For fear is nothing else but a betraying of the succors which reason offers." And you know the definition of secure is assistance and support in times of hardship and distress. So some assist.
Bring it. After you finish reading that definition, then bring it back, and instead of the word succors, just use the word help.
Right. It says, Wisdom of Solomon 17:12, "For fear is nothing else but a betraying of the help which reason offereth." You know, and some of that help that we have is first and foremost faith. You know, faith is a part of that shield to quench the fiery darts of the wicked. You know, the knowledge and wisdom is part of that help that's supposed to keep us stable. So for us to fear is to betray all the knowledge, wisdom, faith, and understanding that we have in the Lord. You know, they say that fear can stand for two things. You know, meaning face everything and rise, or forget everything and run. You know, so for you to fear the so-called white man is to like forget everything and run.
Bring that back. Bring that back.
Yeah, one time, right? Rewind. I ain't never heard that one. I heard the first one, but I ain't hear the second one on top of that. That was too ill.
Yeah, the two definitions of fear is face everything and rise, or forget everything and run. So we know that the MO to the TB is getting ready to be forced. We know that the script that the Lord said, all that shall live godly shall suffer persecution. So when it actually happens for us to cave in, and betray the brotherhood, whatever it may come in, man, take the MO to the TB, betray your fucking self. That's for you to forget everything that you've been laboring for, man. Even for you to be a Fallout Boy. You know, we had to do get in the fights, all that shit, man. Former gangster, whatever the fuck, man. Thought he was a hard body.
You're talking about the war demon.
Yeah, and then, but no, not the other one. The Romans is on to us. Big as he is.
Big as he is.
Big for what, man?
For nothing.
So, that's why it's all about how the Lord said the Lord looketh from the inward part of man. Because otherwise you're gonna forget everything and run.
Hey, now read that one more time, and read it with the word help in it.
Calm. Wisdom of Solomon 17:12. "For fear is nothing else but a betraying of the help which reason offereth."
Right. Fear is nothing else but the betraying of what?
But a betraying of the help which reason offereth.
But the betraying of the help which reason offered. So when fear is nothing more than you going against the help and the sound mind that the Most High is providing to you. So when you look at it that way, because the Most High is providing us with that sound mind, but if you're allowing that fear and everything to creep in, then you're betraying all of the opportunity and the help and the clarity that the Most High is providing to you. The Most High is giving us a clear-cut path, right? Of course, there's some jagged edges and some rocks and things that we had to go across, but what we see is clear as day. It's just the path to get to the end of that tunnel is some stumbling blocks and shit that we got to go through. But at the end of the day, that fear that you have within your mind, or that 2/3 have within their mind, is blocking them completely, because they can, it's like the way the Most High opened up our mind, the tunnel was big, we can see the vision clearly. The rest of the people, their shit is like this. They believe it's possibly hope, but damn, these rocks, it's just fucking up my feet. I'm barefoot. Oh, damn, it's cutting me up. You know what? I can't even see the tunnel no more. They just giving up on it. You know what I mean?
But that sounds like you're going into the parable of those that was on the wayside.
But
the 2/3, they don't even see a light at all.
Yeah.
I got something for y'all. Zechariah chapter 7, verse 11. "But they refused to hearken and pulled away the shoulder and stop their ears that they should not hear.
I don't need no help.
Get off. You know what I'm saying? So that's you betraying the help.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want the help.
Yeah.
Because you may be offended by the delivery,
Mm-hmm.
you may be offended by the message, or you may be offended by the appearance of who it's coming from. You know what I mean? Or maybe the who it's coming from.
Yeah.
People they look at it as we're young men. You can't tell me nothing. You can't teach me nothing. Not knowing that the message is coming from higher up. Yahweh Shem Yahushua. It says, yeah, they made their hearts as an adamant stone, lest they should hear the law and the words which Yahweh of hosts have sent in his spirit by the former prophets. Therefore came a great wrath from the Lord of hosts.
Yeah, and to harp on that point of what you're saying, like about, because that's always a big thing. For one, the scriptures say in Job, for one, great men are always wise. Meaning what? Just because somebody's older than you, don't mean that they always carry a certain amount of wisdom.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You be an old fool.
Exactly. You could be an old fool, and you could be a very wise young man. You know what I mean? It just depends on the spirit of the Most High pulls upon you. Age is supposed to represent wisdom, but it doesn't necessarily represent wisdom, right?
Yeah.
So, real quick, this is 1 Timothy 4:12. It says, "Let no man despise thy youth, but be thou an example of the believers in word, in conversation, in charity, in spirit, in faith, and in purity."
Mm-hmm.
So it says what? Just because I'm young, hey, you shouldn't look down upon me. But what, as me being young and knowing how the world is and that people are not going to respect a younger man, I have to be an example in order for them to have that amount of respect for me, like I'm someone that's older. You know what I'm saying? You have to be the example. This is why in everything you see, they say, "Oh yeah, you gotta lead by example. Yeah, you got a good show, a good warrior, or whatever, or a good general leads his troops and etc." All those type of synonyms and however you want to put those type of things, because people will always follow example when you set yourself in stone with the blueprint. In case in point, like with money, right? If you broke, you got advice. That's like somebody give me that. I think it's Ecclesiastes. I get dyslexia with numbers. It's either around 4 and 9 or 9-4, something like that. About the poor man who saved the city. Somebody grab that, right? Because if in this world, if you can have all the advice in the world, you can be right. But if you ain't got that bread, niggas ain't trying to hear that shit. But if you got that bread, you can be the dumbest motherfucker on earth. They gonna try to hear you.
That's rappers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You idolize. Oh damn, yeah, this guy, yeah, man, I want to be like him. Why? Because he got bread.
So you got a chain on the
But you hear this nigga talk on the interview, he's dumb as a box of fucking rocks, man.
Like
Woo,
EST,
you know what I'm saying?
like ESTG. You can't hold a conversation for nothing. If his life depended on it.
Yo, that nigga is he's one of the dumbest. Oh man.
Remember, what's his name from Chicago? The kind of put Chicago on the map. What's his name?
King on
No, before them.
Chief Keef.
Chief Keef.
Yeah.
Chief Keef couldn't even do interviews.
Yeah.
You remember his time coming
I
out.
remember that.
He wouldn't do interviews because he wasn't articulate enough just to conversate with somebody.
Exactly.
So he had to be the ignorant nigga talking about I don't do interviews.
Exactly.
Ain't nobody coming at you. They just
Exactly.
asking you a few questions to
Yeah.
get the feel of who you are as an artist.
Yeah.
But he couldn't even articulate himself because he got stupid.
And not only that, they can barely make eye contact. That's why a lot of them be wearing them sunglasses.
Yeah.
They can't make eye contact because here it is, the eyes are the windows to the soul. You know, and if somebody can't make eye contact with you, you know, they can't be trusted.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And if they do make eye contact, you gotta have the spirit to be able to discern those eyes. You know what I'm saying? That's laying upon you. You know, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You know?
Somebody got that parable.
There's Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 15.
I know somewhere around there.
It says, "Now there was found in it a poor wise man, and he by his wisdom delivered the city."
Right, so that poor wise man, right? And we can liken this poor wise man unto what? Yahweh Shah, right? Because, he gave up the life that he could have had to live amongst the common folk in order to deliver us as a people, right? So read that back again.
It says, now there was found in it a poor wise man, and he by his wisdom delivered the city.
And he, Yahweh Shah, by his wisdom. Now, this is a regular situation with a normal man, but I'm just using the analogy and applying it to Yahweh Shah, right? So this poor wise man, and by his wisdom, he delivered the city. Who was that city? Israel. Jerusalem, right? Israel, Jerusalem, whatever. It's Israel. Go ahead.
Yet no man remembered that same poor man.
Yet no man remembered that same poor man. Why? Because he wasn't great in stature as far as the world is concerned, as far as riches and all of this and all of that. But people will remember people like Mansa Musa or other people in ancient history who conquered nations, Alexander the Great and all these Roman people and the Genghis Khan. They'll remember all them because they were great as far as their might and their armies and their money and things in which they had. But Yahweh Shah, he had a silent army because he had a spiritual army. People don't want to hear none of that unless you really took something by force. They don't want to hear it. This is why the truth is only for the elect, because this is a silent thing, man. It is not for everybody. All right, so go ahead.
Verse 16, then said I, wisdom is better than strength. Nevertheless, the poor man's wisdom is despised, and his words are not heard.
Exactly. And that's the point. Wisdom is better than what? The physical strength. Because I can outwit you with you being stronger than me, but yet you being dumber than me as far as intellectual levels. So wisdom will always go much farther than brute strength. That's why the scriptures say bodily exercise profit of little, because a person can be building up himself. I'm the biggest man. I'm going to win. No, I outwitted you. You big dummy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, hey, shout out to the. Yeah, it's good, right? Brother put the scripture, y'all.
Okay.
He put Solomon 7:28. For Yahweh loveth none but him that dwelleth with wisdom. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore get wisdom, and with all thou getting, get understanding.
Wisdom is what? The principal thing. Word principle, what do we get out of that? Principle basically means first. That's the first thing. So that's what we're supposed to be striving to attain, because why? Wisdom transcends over all aspects of our life, right? Whether it comes to understanding, communication, physical altercations, whatever it is in life, that wisdom will transcend through all aspects of our life. Brute strength doesn't transcend to all aspects of your life, because there are going to be certain situations where you just can't go into this with brute force and thinking,
It can't adapt.
Exactly. It's not adaptable.
It's one way.
Exactly. Like how the thing with Bruce Lee, be water. Become the bowl. You know what I mean? This is what wisdom is. Wisdom is able to shape shift, so to speak. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In righteousness, though. You know?
Yeah, real quick, I might have made a mistake. That was Wisdom of Solomon 7:28. For God loveth none but him that dwelleth with wisdom. Then the brother put the precept, Proverbs 4:7. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore get wisdom, and with all thou getting, get understanding. Verse 8. Exhort her, and she shall promote thee. She shall bring thee to honor when thou doest embrace her.
And that's why it's what? The numbers go what? Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Because you learning, and then you gain wisdom, which is the experience from the knowledge of what you had, and the understanding is the application of your wisdom. So you see how it's a 1, 2, 3 step type of process. You know what I'm saying? Because you can communicate with people and do different things until you blow in the face, but if that understanding is not set, what do you have at the end of the day? This is why everything has to go in tandem with one another,
Yeah, this is the last verse, verse 9. She shall give to thine, it says, she shall give to thine head an ornament of grace, a crown of glory shall she delivered to thee.
Exactly. And what all of these things we speaking upon is the righteous attributes in order to be able to
I didn't understand that.
say, fuck out of here. And all of these things in which all these things in which you're speaking on.
I didn't understand.
Exactly. When we just talk about understanding.
Hey, spiritual wickedness in high places.
Exactly. Trying to come through the phone. Fuck out of here. If I ain't need this phone, I would smash you, Satan. Fuck out of here. I'm just joking. But you know what I mean? But yeah, that shows Satan is in the midst.
Yeah.
Right? What the lesson, because I was, and because I was just about to apply it into the type lesson.
Yeah.
Go over things of them back. Wickedness in high places.
That's right.
The technology is spiritual wickedness in high places.
Yeah.
Right.
Because this is Esau's power source, man.
Right.
You know what I mean?
They gonna use Siri.
Thank you, Satan, for the edification. Fuck out of here. You know what I mean?
Hey, look, Satan gonna get. Hey, look, you gotta use a bitch to get the job done. Right? You gotta use a female to get the job done. Edom's technical biatch is Siri. Hey, that might be worth a Google. What does Siri even mean?
Yeah.
You know?
Ask Siri what she mean.
What does Siri mean?
Hey,
Ask about the end of the world.
Hey, and what you just said, I couldn't quite understand that in the British accent, right?
Daniel's talking to.
You can't hear Jimmy.
You can't hear
You
him.
can't hear the song.
You can't hear
Fuck
him.
out of here. Satan, you can't hear the song. It ain't meant for you.
What the scripture say? For the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand.
Of course, you can understand that. The Lord didn't impart understanding to her.
Is that on?
Yeah,
They don't put further in the message.
Hey, 'cause you know what? Siri is a real being.
Yeah,
It's just technology. Man.
Exactly.
No matter how advanced it is.
Exactly.
You know?
Hey,
I live in so.
I got a lyric, right, from Kanye West. Because when brothers brought out the precept based upon how they didn't hear the poor righteous man, right? I'm gonna read a little bit from this lyric from the song "Can't Tell Nothing," right? And he's one second. I'll start here. It says, "No, I already graduated, and you can live through anything if magic made it. They say I talk with so much emphasis. Oh, they so sensitive. They don't ever fix your lips like collagen, and then say something where you're going to end up apologizing. And we already know, you got a lot of people going against that alphabet culture, and then they got to end up apologizing for it, unless because they're gonna end up stopping their money, right? It says, "Let me know if it's a problem, man. All right, man, holler then." And he says, "La la la la. Wait till I get my money right. La 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 la. Then you can't tell me nothing, right?" So they feel as though this is the mindset of people who are rich. Oh, I got my money. You can't tell me nothing. You can't tell me shit. I got more money than you. So their symbol of perfection and status is immaterial. Oh, you work a 9 to 5. Oh, you rent an apartment.
You're beneath me.
You're beneath me. I got a multi-million-dollar house. Your rent isn't even worth what I'm paying in car maintenance.
Your opinion.
Your opinion don't matter.
Your words.
This is their mindset. And this is what Kanye West is pretty much saying in this song. Pretty much exemplifying what the scriptures say. But this is how they all think. So through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai, we got to be grateful that he got us in this position to where we can have this truth. The Lord could bless certain brothers that's in this faith with substance, but it's to what? Help the brotherhood. Create that balance. But what matters is that this money doesn't matter because we know where it's going, and what ultimately matters is salvation.
Hey, by the way, Siri, this goes to a Scandinavian origin, meaning beautiful woman who leads you to victory. So they think they don't get their victory.
See, that's Psalms 49:11. Their inward heart is that their houses shall continue forever. Nike means what? Victory. That's the biggest company, shoe brand out here. You know, so that's why this devil's going to be highly disappointed as soon as Job 5 and 12. You know what I'm saying? Because he put so much energy, blood, sweat, tears, sacrifices into accomplishing his NWO, but it's going to come to naught. Your spiritual wickedness in high places is going to come to naught.
Yeah, I got something real quick. He spoke about being thankful. This is Colossians chapter 3, verse 15. And let the peace of the Most High rule in your hearts, to the which also ye are called in one body, and be ye body, which were called into other men. And we're in that one body speaking what? The same thing. Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, with one judgment. All right, well, with the same judgment. Correction, with the same judgment. There's many judgments for things. But it says, and let the peace of Yahweh rule in your hearts, which is your mind, to the which also ye are called in one body, and be ye thankful. You know, he had mentioned the word thankful, what you were saying.
Yeah.
And that's what drew this scripture, because we got to be thankful in this truth. You know, there's spiritual wickedness in high places, and we're battling and fighting against these demons in high places. These elites, you know, the Rothschilds, the Bilderbergs, the DuPonts, the Gettys, you know, these elite banking families, which really boils down to one nation, Esau, Edom. All right, the Lord revealed us who they were. All right, Job 9:24 says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So we know who the wicked is, God, that runs the earth. And right now, through their craftiness and their devices, and through their witchcraft, they're casting spells upon the whole earth. They've been doing it for the longest. You got award shows that today they hold high level of wickedness, of sorcery, man.
Fucking rituals.
Yeah, rituals right before your eyes, man. You know, and people are watching these things with no knowledge. Well, let me say, Israelites are watching these things with no knowledge of Yahweh Shem. So they suck. Their spirits is given over to this shit. You know? So it's spiritual wickedness in high places. Hey, 2/3 of Jake believe in nothing. They believe in lies, man. They don't have the truth. So we're literally fighting. This is a spiritual fight. It's a spiritual war, man. You know?
Yeah, a lot of them award shows too, they be summoning damn demons, man. Apostle Tahar threw that lesson up with Travis Scott with that black horse that was caught on camera jumping around the crowd.
Right.
You know? So they be summoning demons upon the people, man.
Trying to open up portals and all of that, because like you said, like with that Travis Scott thing, all he did was pretty much the same type of ritual that Puffy did, but on a grander scale, but the same amount of people died. The City College incident occurred. You know what I mean? Like 8 or 9 people died on the Puffy shit. 8 or 9 people died with the Travis Scott shit. It's repeating of the same shit, man. You know?
Yeah, they're normalizing paganism. You know, they're writing unrighteous decrees. They have a tradition of men which is normalizing worshiping witchcraft. You know, all things that are abominable to the Most High. Today, all right, is so wicked. Well, this place, Babylon the Great, also known as America, is so wicked that the Lord said He gonna wipe it off the face of the earth. You know. Somebody to finish off and dust off Ephesians 6 and 10 and dust that off real quick and finish it. But that's what the lesson, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, and one more thing, man. When you watch that show American Horror Story, the season when America got thermonuclear.
That's season 8, I think, right? When it was down in the bunkers. And
Yeah,
shit.
yep.
That's season 8.
The bunker episode, they showed that these damn Satanists, when they go to their churches, they literally share testimonies on, you know, the evilness that they've done. And they're like, yo, this is all y'all doing? Like, y'all not being evil enough, man. This is really how they get down. So these damn celebrities, man, that pretty much worship Satan, they got to do rituals to where they celebrate as well. You know, Travis Scott, they were saying that was a, you know, pretty much a satanic ritual, man. You know, so they got to put, they pretty much got to put on to show their allegiance.
Allegiance, yeah. Their praise to Satan.
Yep. So Ephesians chapter 6, verse 10. Finally, my brethren, Be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places.
Right, and it said, what, put on that whole armor, because we gotta be covered from head to toe, from the crown of our head to the sole of our feet. Now, to apply this to street tactics or street whatever you want to apply it to, right? And street people just have on the vest. They feeling as though they armored up. You ain't got the whole arm on.
Your arms is
Your arm, exactly. Your legs,
yeah.
you can catch a headshot, right? You know what I'm saying? But we cover with the whole armor, and it's gonna get into it. So go ahead.
Hey, real quick, just to add, because the old way is better.
Exactly.
Even though it was ancient and it was more modernized with technology, more advanced, but the old way was always better. They went out there with, you know, helmet, shield, gauntlets.
You actually had your chest and all that covered. That was just covered, and you feeling like you Superman.
Yeah, now it's lazy today, man. You can 600 pounds, but if you have a gun, you know, you're in a better position. You can be the wimpiest nerd. You don't got to do no type of training. Just carry a gun with you, man. It's lazy.
You could be a coward. A straight coward. You're a coward. You're afraid of men. You're afraid of physical combat, which you're not a man. You know, because you're afraid of physical combat. Yeah, you might win some, you lose some. At least you live to the next day. But what you did was you stood up as a man. It's about principle. We men, all right, we supposed to be men of principle. We men that serve Yahweh Shem Shah. We supposed to have principle, standards, dignity, man. You know, righteous pride about ourselves. We gotta hold ourselves to that. You know, but of course, in this world, we have to use wisdom, and some things you just can't. You gotta just deal with it. Like Micah said, I'll suffer the indignation of the Lord until the Most High plead my case. So every time, it ain't about being a tough guy. Don't get it twisted. You gotta use wisdom in situations. But as men, that the Most High is gonna make us perfect to, we're gonna be men that stand in righteousness, man. We're gonna be men with righteous dignity. You know, we're gonna have that alpha male mentality, ruling class mentality, man. That's how we're supposed to be. But you got cowards, little dumb drunkies, crackheads. They don't call themselves crackheads, but really they crackheads, man. You know, these dudes are strung out on weed. If they don't have a blunt, they ready to shoot somebody. You know, I need my blunt, bro, to calm down, bro. I got to calm down. Nigga, what's wrong with you, man? You a weirdo. But they quick to call us weird. But these dudes be cowards, and they know that you a threat. Oh, this dude got size on him. I'll shoot that nigga. Nigga, what? I ain't fighting nobody. Nigga, I ain't fighting nobody. I'll shoot you, nigga. Fuck, who fighting? It's 2022. You hear niggas arguing, talking about who fight niggas anymore. I'll shoot you, nigga. Because they cowards. You know, it's a cowardly, and any man can pick up a sword. This is how you show that Esau's sword is cowardly, man.
You know, because essentially it was created because they was getting their ass bust. You know, and that Gatling gun was created. That's because Gad was whooping their ass, man. So they had to create a device that kept them the you know. So if you can use get the upper hand because you know you can't deal with that man physically, you know. And here it is, these devils can't deal with us spiritually. So they're they're gonna attempt to make adjustments, you know, but it's going to be to no avail because all you doing is forward in prophecy. Right?
And back in Ephesians 6, verse 4, take unto you the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day.
Right, that's the only way you're gonna be able to withstand if you take on a whole armor. That's how we getting into them. Brothers giving their various examples. Go ahead.
And having done all to stand.
And having done all to stand, everything within your power, within your might, within your ability to be able to stand and get through the fight. You know, like, you know, y'all more the boxing experts and things like that. You know what I'm saying? You know, God trying to just stand in there, give it his all. You're trying to pace yourself with your punches, but you're trying to withstand shit and keep your guard up at the same time. You trying to you trying to keep your, your shit on point, but you wobbly like, hold up, let me, you know what I mean? Like,
Terrence Crawford.
Real quick, a quick testimony. It takes endurance to even keep your guard up. Hey, the first time I sparred, got my ass kicked. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't have the muscle endurance to keep my guard up. I wasn't doing flex arm hangs and pull-ups and 8-second push-ups and things of that nature like them guys was doing. So by the second round, I dropped my guard and it fucked me up. You know what I'm saying? It felt like boulders on my shoulders. It felt like heavy weights on my shoulders to where I couldn't even keep my guard up. So I dropped my guard, and the guy, my opponent, was beating my ass. But then you learn. You train, you get conditioned, and then you learn.
And that's why, we're having fun going in the show, but this is why you gotta study Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
Punch and not get hit.
Yeah.
The Mexican style fighting, it'll beat your ass. It'll beat your ass, but somebody that has wisdom, like a Floyd,
Defense.
is defense.
yeah.
Or you could be a Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford, he fights emotionally.
Yeah.
If you hit him, he got to get 2 hits back.
He gonna lose.
He gonna lose because he ain't got the mindset to just stay with the game plan and not be emotional. Floyd Mayweather, people talk about this guy, and now they talk great of him, but when he was fighting, they was waiting for him to lose.
Yeah.
But the one thing that Floyd had, he never played into the crowd.
Right.
That's why Earl gonna whoop Terrence Crawford ass.
Yeah.
Like that.
That Crawford dude is a baby of your boy. Is a baby Wilder.
Oh man.
Baby Wilder.
They're emotional.
Yeah,
emotional to be
and
fighting.
and sling like a fucking girl.
Got a scripture for Floyd Mayweather, man. You're gonna be a more spiritual Floyd Mayweather. So Wisdom of Solomon. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 10 verse 9. But wisdom delivered from pain those that attended upon her. So if you use wisdom, you could dodge some pain, man.
Yeah.
Like Mayweather, get out the fucking way after he dope something, man.
Shoulder roll.
And then you out of there. You don't gotta get your shit knocked off, man. So, a lot of people trying to play that tough guy role. Sometimes if you just use wisdom, your ass won't end up in jail, man.
Hey,
Or you won't end up getting jumped or whatever.
Hold that scripture.
Hey, because essentially, when you maneuver in defense, that's you exercising wisdom. Because it's justifiable. Once you're justified, everything's going to go in your favor. And that's going off of defense. If you out here moving on offense, calling yourself staying dangerous, that's when you're going to find yourself having the lower end of the stick, so to speak. However, if you move in defense, you're more justified in whatever happens. You know what I'm saying? And you will be delivered in the end. So that's wisdom in itself. And that's why a lot of the best boxers, they're counter punchers. They move defensively because essentially they're justified.
Yeah, another thing too.
You see the bullshit coming.
My mom's, she always taught me how to drive. She said, drive aggressive, but be defensive. Drive aggressive, but be defensive. That means when it's time to get out in traffic, put your car out there. Like them people know you're trying to get on it. Don't drive timid. So be aggressive, but drive defensive. And I said, all right. He used to have me out there. You drive, put your car out there. They come in all these cars from like, put your car out there. Ease. Drive aggressive. Show them that, look, you trying to get on. Make them slow up. But be defensive though. Don't be no wise ass and be a dumb ass.
Right.
So, like boxing.
Because like even in that, right?
You drive aggressive.
And dealing with wisdom as far as driving. You at a red light, right? You at a red light, turns green. As soon as it turns green, don't just go. Wait 3 seconds. Then go. Because there could be a car just coming. And they could smack you. You know what I'm saying? So being defensive, light turns green, wait 2 to 3 seconds, then go. Because that could prevent you from, you know, things happening, purposes happening. We don't talk about accidents, right?
It's the will of
You know
the
what I'm saying?
Father.
Yeah, because it's the will of the Father, right? But, you know, if you have wisdom, you know, you can move in purpose, you know, in alignment with Yahweh Shem Yahushua, because he put that spirit upon you, you know, to dodge Satan. Because Satan is out here, seeing who he can devour. But if you can apply wisdom, you can get out of Satan's way.
Wisdom of Solomon 10:9. But wisdom delivered from pain those that attended upon her.
Wisdom delivered from pain those that attended upon her. We're all looking for deliverance from pain. We're all listen to the Jake music. Listen to especially the R&B singers. Mary J. Blige. If you look at my life and see what I see, she wants the pain. She wants the pain to go away from all the things that she's been through. Yeah,
all about pain.
Yeah, all about pain.
Yeah.
This is why I tell you, I'm addicted to them suffering scriptures. I'm addicted, like, cause it's we look that's because on two instances, right? You have 2 instances to where you looking to be delivered from that pain, and then in the other instances, you need to go through that pain because that's what pulls the most out of you. That's how you truly get educated, because the rawness of you is getting drawn up out of you. So we need it on both aspects, man. You know, on both aspects. So go ahead.
I was on that.
That was it. So
Yeah.
you go back to the Ephesians.
Back in Ephesians chapter 6, verse 14. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness.
Hey,
So,
you got it.
I was gonna say, just live for truth. You know, everything about you and how you live it should be about Yahweh Shem Yahushua and His truth. You should really walk as an Israelite. Don't say that you're an Israelite and you're not walking as an Israelite. You know, your actions and the way you live is not an Israelite. That's of the world. You got to be not just a hearer of the word, but be a doer of the word. You know, having everything about you about the truth, man.
And your feet showed with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all,
Hey, because like they say, preparation prevents poor performance. You know, proper preparation, Salakia, prevents poor performance. You know, and so that's why it's important to have this knowledge, you know, within us. You know, so it can prevent poor performance from folding when Jacob's trouble abounds. You know.
it says, above all, take in the shield of faith.
Faith, because what faith is most important. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Faith is a gift.
Yeah.
The Lord giveth, and He taketh away. So above all, we want to maintain that faith. You know what I'm saying? Because if we don't have that, we don't have nothing. You know?
Look at this on the left hand side, right? It said what? We know that this is obviously on the right side, but we're going to take an aspect from the left hand, right?
Yeah.
It says take hold the shield of faith, that what we're able to defend against the fiery darts of Satan, right?
Yeah.
This is how we saying everything is in duality. Because you know it says that see all the works of the Most High, see there are two, one against another, right?
Sure.
So we know that the left hand side is mimicking the right hand side. What movie or what character you know as a shield of those characters? Does Marvel and DC with
Captain America?
Captain America. So what are they telling you with that? Captain America has a shield. They're telling you that we're taking up. Read it one more time.
The shield.
It says, above all, take in the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked.
Hey, because America is the head or the captain of the Edomite nations. So them knowing that America is that, they're taking their shield of wickedness.
Right.
You know what I mean? Their faith is within their wickedness.
Right.
So they're taking that shield to quench all. They're trying to quench the fiery darts of the righteous.
Right.
They just trying to do it on the opposite side. You know what I'm saying?
Do it again. Right.
And you know how they attempt to try to do that? By establishing law. You know what I'm saying? By establishing law and order.
Democracy.
What's that? Psalm 94 and 20?
Yeah.
You know? What that say?
Framing mischief by law.
Yeah, they frame it for mischief by law. So if you gotta frame something which is mischief by law, it's to protect yourself. You know what I'm saying? So they trying to protect themselves from the spirit of the Lord by establishing a law. It's to no avail.
Which they took that from the right.
Right.
Yeah. Because their laws go against the right.
Right.
Just, you
Yeah.
know.
And that's why people today, with no understanding of the truth, which is from the right, which is the Most High, the scriptures, Job said he hideth in the right side. Jake think that everything is all wicked. So when you performing things in righteousness, they think that you're being wicked.
Yeah.
That's the scripture in Isaiah 5, I think.
Yeah,
They
Isaiah
call
5,
evil
20.
good,
Yeah.
good
Woe
evil.
unto them that call good evil and evil good.
But evil took from the good. You know? Because the righteous is the standard.
Yeah, because in the world was set up that there was only good, there was no evil. Case in point with the movie The Invention of Lying. That's why Esau made that movie, The Invention of Lying, because at the beginning, there was no such thing as lying. Everybody it was just righteous. But wickedness and how the Most High set it up. Yeah, and how the Most High set it up for the other nations, for them to be the evil, so you could have that, wind up having that balance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Esau, him being the author of, before when he had none, him being the author of all of that, BS and wickedness and lying and all of that. That's how the Most High set it up for that balance to be created within the earth, so people could know how to do it too. You know?
Because he said, take the shield of faith, and us brothers, we gotta have great faith. We practice the exercise of faith by going out teaching His word, and we're professing it, and prophesizing in the name of the Lord, standing stiffly for the name of the Lord. Well, you gotta have, right at the end when things get rough, you supposed to get stronger, and I say this for myself, and I'm professing it because I hope that I'll do it myself, and but the scripture here, this is Luke chapter 17 and 5. And the apostle said unto the Lord, increase our faith. And the Lord said, if ye have faith as a grain of a mustard seed, ye might say unto this sycamore tree, be thou plucked up by the root, and be thou planted into the sea, and it should obey you. So Yahushua told them, because the apostles asked, they said, look, Lord, increase our faith. We have little faith, increase our faith. And Yahushua said, if you have faith as a grain of a mustard seed is very, very small, but it also can grow into a very large tree. You wouldn't believe that this tree grew from this very small seed. So he's comparing us to, your faith to a mustard seed, because we're very little, we're few. We're like the counted out, we're what they call the Oscar, the most hated. How could we win? What Esau, it tells us in Wisdom of Solomon 5th chapter, they didn't even account to our labors. What it say? All that they look for, for our salvation. They didn't think we had any honor. They think we're talking crazy of what we're saying. We don't barely get views or whatever the case may be. These videos are not going viral, giving all this information, and this insight, this enlightenment of Yahweh Shah. These videos should go viral. Every brother that's doing videos in the spirit and power of Yahweh Shah, sincerity and truth, and speaking 100% truth, those videos should be going viral. But they got dumbass videos going viral. Period out, period up, period out, period up, period out. So you know what time we're living in, man. So it says, and the Lord said, if ye have faith as a grain of a mustard seed, ye might say unto this sycamore tree, be thou plucked up by the root, and be thou planted into the sea, and it should obey you. So, you know, when your faith, and I say this humbly, and I speak as a man, but I believe when the Lord activate the spiritual powers within brothers, it's gonna come through extreme measures, life and death situations, brothers performing miracles. It's when things get crazy out here, man, and we only could have faith. You know, your existence is only to have faith in the Lord. You know, right now we have faith in the Lord, but we're still living according to a system. But when the system crashes, your existence is only going to have to believe in the Lord, or you ain't got no hope at all. That's what it's coming to. So verse 7, it says, but which of you, having a servant plowing or feeding cattle, will say unto him by and by, and when he shall come from the field, go and sit down to the meat, and will not rather say unto him, make ready wherewith I may sup, and gird thyself and serve me, till I have eaten and drunken, and afterward thou shalt eat and drink. You know, now the point is how Yahushua said, if you say unto this tree, be thou plucked up from the root, and be thou planted into the sea, it should obey you. So brothers gonna have power, and their faith is gonna be so much on the level that whatever thing that's before us, we're gonna be able to bend the elements. We're gonna be able to tell anything that have life or element that's part of the elements, earth. We're gonna be able to tell it to do what we want it to do. We're gonna bend matter, if you want to say. Esau is studying dark matter from outer space. We're gonna be able to bend everything that exists through Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, man. You know? So if there's a cancer inside of a person, or a person is disformed like Yahushua was doing, the Lord said we shall do greater works than him. So spiritual powers is coming. So that's why I stress, my point is, you know, brothers gotta have that faith. You got the faith, but believe in this truth. Believe in what we're prophesizing about. Just don't be, I say this for myself first, because we can all get caught up. None of us are perfect. You get caught up going through, you gotta really talk to yourself. You gotta examine yourself. You know, do I really believe? You know, what happens when shit hit the fan? You're supposed to be counting the cost, man. You're supposed to be thinking on the worst. What's coming? You know, where would I be? Would I stand? You know, am I relying on brothers more than relying on my faith? Like, you gotta really go into yourself, man. What am I in this truth for, man? Am I really believing in Yahweh Bashem Yahshua, or I'm just trying to please other men? Apostle Paul said, have thou faith, have it to thyself before the Most High. Because at the end of the day, can't no other man save you. Brothers are here as crutches. The apostles are here as crutches and teachers, you know, elders, to give us the way, because they've been given the way by their elders. They've been paved the way. But it's all through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahshua. But at the end of the day, you have to walk your walk. You have to go and drink the water. Can't no brother tell you, go drink that. Go be renewed in the mind and washed by the word. He can and give you instructions to do it. But if you don't get up yourself and do it, then what? You know? So therefore, you got to exercise that faith, man, and pray to the Lord for mercy, because the faith that's within us, that's given us as a gift from the Most High, is going to increase. Even the disciples here, they asked Yahushua to increase their faith, because Yahushua was getting on them at the time. You know, they had little faith. They wasn't able to exorcise the demons. They saw Yahushua do all these miracles, saw the supernatural and the things that the Most High did through Yahushua. They're witnesses. But then here it comes with all that teaching and even teaching hands-on, they still lacked faith in a way. They had little faith, you know. Not saying they lacked faith, whatever, saying better words, but they had little faith. And it's like Yahushua, I could understand them being a little annoyed, you know, just a little annoyed, like, you have little faith, man.
Hey,
Man up, you know.
And that's what had the when he departed from him, because essentially Yahushua was, when he was on the scene, he was fighting their battles, you know, for him, so to speak, you know. But when he departed from him, the disciples turned apostles. They got turned up in the spirit, you know, and that was necessary, you know, and that's essentially what happens, you know. If you lose something, it turns up in another fashion. You know.
So, with that, we hope this segment was edifying. I'm glad to give all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem B'Kadash.
The ones to the apostles and the elders, great millstone. Shalom to leg out there, doing the faith, live love, true city. Shalom, shalom to the brothers in the common.
Shalom.
Wow.